Okay, everybody, it's time to make another video. This is the first one for a number of weeks. The reason being that I have been quite busy with university-related work. The first assignment for the master's course was submitted last week. Hopefully I'll be getting a grade, or rather a number out of 100 in about a fortnight. It was a 1,500 word critique of somebody else's poem, somebody else on the course. And I worked on it pretty solidly for about 8 days. We'll see how it goes. And also I've been sorting out the creative project, which I shall be starting very soon. It is going to be a non-fiction piece about this year's Eurovision. And that is what this video is about. Because last year I did this, I'm doing it again, and in fact last year I got quite a few views on my videos that I made about this topic. So why not do it again? I've got the information in front of me just in case I forget anything. So yeah, I'm going to be talking about the contest as a whole and the semi-final 1 participants in this video. There will probably be another video tomorrow where I talk about semi-final 2 and maybe the automatic qualifiers as well. As I am writing about this year's contest for my course, it is possible that I will ask for other people's opinions on the songs. So if you hear some of them in the contest next week, or you've already heard some of them, feel free to send me your opinions, because also I do blog about the contest, and those blog posts get a lot more views than my original writing. So let's get into it. This year, it's the 62nd annual contest. It's been held every year since 1956, and for many years, many years, the contest has been held on a Saturday evening. Next week is the big week. Semi-final 1's on Tuesday the 9th of May, semi-final 2 on Thursday the 11th, the final on Saturday the 13th. The contest is being held in Kiev for the second time after 2005. Ukraine has also hosted 2 junior Eurovisions in recent years. The venue is the International Exhibition Centre, which can hold about 10,000 people, so quite a small venue by today's standards. It looks from the outside like a large supermarket or a shopping centre. It's not the best looking venue. It is quite small, but they've done a really good job with the stage, which has a big LED screen and a sort of shark head structure. It looks really good in some of the pictures, and obviously there's plenty of lighting effects and pyrotechnics that we will see in action next week. Ukraine are hosting because they won last year in Stockholm with 1944 by Jamala. A bit of a controversial winner, but the winner nevertheless. And that song won after the new voting system, which will again be in place this year. 42 countries are participating. Portugal and Romania are back in business. There's no Bosnia. Countries like Andorra and Monaco and Luxembourg are once again nowhere to be seen. Luxembourg haven't been in it since the year I was born, 1993. Russia also are not competing for the first time in years. This is because Ukraine and Russia don't get on. The singer Yulia Samoylova, who was chosen and the song was revealed, and the song is on the CD as well, she illegally entered Crimea from Russia, and the Ukrainian government, not the European Broadcasting Union who organised the contest, the Ukrainian government said, like hell, you are performing in our country. And although there were lots of discussions trying to resolve the issue, Russia withdrew, and hopefully they'll be back next year. But my God, they whine about the contest like you wouldn't believe. They're still peeved that they didn't win last year. Just get over it. Of course, Russia is one of the few countries that can host the contest because they've got the money to do it. Ukraine plagued with problems. There was a big discussion over whether they could afford it. This year's contest is cheaper than we usually see. A couple of cities in contention, but in the end Kiev was the obvious choice. The venue in Kiev took a while to get sorted. Then there was this whole thing with Russia. Anyway, the hosts, 3 guys, which is interesting because the theme of this year's show is Celebrate Diversity, so you've got 3 white males as hosts. They are Alexander Skichko, Volodymyr Ostapchuk and Timur Miroshnichenko, who, the last one, Timur, has been a commentator for Ukraine in the past and hosted Junior Eurovision before. So, long story short, semi-final 1, 18 songs, 3 of the automatic qualifiers will vote, including the UK, Italy and Spain are the other 2. So let's go through the running order, which was, I'll spit it out in a minute, which was decided upon by the producers of the show to try and keep similar songs separate from each other. Anyway, finally, let's get going. Song 1 is Sweden. Sweden always do well, and they're one of the favourites this year. Robin Bengtsson is the singer. I Can't Go On is the song. This is pop. The performance is very similar to what we saw in Melodifestivalen, the very popular Swedish national final. He starts off backstage and then comes onto the stage properly with his backing singers / dancers. There's a whole thing with treadmills. It's very slick, very well done. Maybe a bit cheap and generic, but it's a really strong entry. Sweden will qualify. They will push for the win. And if they do win, they'll tie with Ireland on 7 victories, the joint most by any country. Song 2 is Georgia. They've never won. Tamara Gachichiladze with Keep the Faith. The colour scheme is red. The reason I know this is because rehearsals are underway in Kiev. Good song, okay voice, but very forgettable. And early on in the running order means it's got little chance. Song 3 is Australia. This is their 3rd year competing in a row. Isaiah, very young singer, I think he's only about 17, 18. I think he won, I shall check, the most recent edition of the X Factor Australia. The song's called Don't Come Easy. It's a ballad. His face is on the backdrop. He's on a rotating platform. It's a very strong song. A lot of people thinking that it won't do that well. Certainly it's the weakest song Australia have sent so far, but this will get a lot of points. Song 4 is Albania. They have never won. Been a while since they were in the final. World, performed by Lindita. She's a really good singer, but that's about it. I'm glad they translated the song into English because it's now more powerful and you can understand it better. But this will do very well to qualify. I just don't think there's enough about it besides the voice. Song 5 is Belgium. What a great song this is. The song is City Lights by Blanche, real name Ellie Delvaux. Very young, very shy, very timid singer. In interviews she doesn't seem particularly comfortable. Her English is not the best, even though the song's in English, and I think that she was very nervous. A lot of people criticising her first rehearsal the other day. Didn't think there was anything wrong with it apart from the visuals, which could be better. This is contemporary, very cool. Belgium have only won once. They could push for the win again. Think Lana Del Rey, Lorde, Halsey perhaps at a push. Those types of singers, that type of genre. This is a really strong entry from Belgium, who really do want to win. Song 6 is Montenegro. They've never won. What a disaster this is. Space by Slavko Kalazic. This is flashy, gaudy, in-your-face, annoying camp. He's wearing some sort of mesh top, throwing himself about the stage with his massive long ponytail, whipping it about, relying on the backing singers to do the work for him. It's cheesy, it's pants. It's really not that good a song. It would be a disaster if it qualified because it would take the place of another country that's more deserving. That's all I've got to say about it. Not great. Song 7 is great. Finland. They have only won once in 2006. This is Norma John, maybe a play on Marilyn Monroe's real name. Blackbird, the name of the tune. This is very maudlin, very soft, very funeral-like. The staging is exactly like it was in the Finnish national final. It's a guy playing the piano and the girl singing. Very atmospheric, beautiful but depressing melody. And this is a dark horse. Only now are people starting to say that Finland could do very well. I saw it all along. Keep an eye on Finland. Song 8 is Azerbaijan. Their only victory was in 2011. The song is called Skeletons, performed by Dihaj, real name Diana. This has very interesting staging. It's going to do very well. Very well. It's sort of got a pounding rhythm, good voice, quite a quirky looking singer as well. On stage there's a big blackboard with loads of words over it. There's a man on a ladder with a horse mask. It's all a bit confusing, certainly to the neutral viewer next week, but this will qualify and get a ton of points. Could it win? At a push. Song 9 is Portugal. They have never won. They've never finished in the top 5. This is the only song in the first semi-final not in English. Amar pelos dois, Love for Two by Salvador Sobral. He's not in Kiev at the moment because of, I think, health-related issues. Also, he's performing in Portugal. So his sister, who wrote the song, has been the stand-in. She's got a lovely voice. Salvador is an interesting performer, very emotional performer. The song is so dated. It's a ballad, quite Disney-fied, but people love it. It could be Portugal's most successful ever entry. But you'll either really like it and find it charming, which it is, or you'll find it really dull, like myself. Song 10 is Greece. They were not in the final last year, which was a big surprise, because Greece usually do very well. The song is called This Is Love by Demi, who is one of Greece's biggest singers. This is very, very ordinary, very uninspired pop. Lyrics are pretty poor, but people love her, people love the song. This is going to do very well in the public vote. In the jury vote, maybe not quite as much. Greece have won once, last time in Kiev, obviously 12 years ago. So could they win again in Kiev? Highly doubtful. Song 11 is Poland. The most overrated country you've ever seen because of all the immigrants across Europe voting for their own country. Poland are represented by Kasia Mosh with Flashlight. This is totally forgettable. There really is nothing memorable about this. Good voice, okay song that builds up into something quite powerful, but I barely remember the song, I barely remember the rehearsal. But like last year, I think Poland will be highly overrated by the public vote. They shouldn't be, but they probably will be. They've never won. And to be honest, it is about time they won. Song 12 is Moldova, Sunstroke Project with Hey Mama. Moldova haven't been in the final for a number of years, they've never won. Sunstroke Project represented Moldova in 2010 with Oli Atira, but didn't do that well. This is Epic Sax Guy. He's back. It's catchy, it's fun, it's likeable. It's going to be a very enjoyable performance. Will it qualify? Maybe. It's going to be a very close run thing. I think it will be screwed over by the juries. My alarm clock's going off. Don't know why. There we are. Don't know what that was about. But Moldova, yeah, really good song, and I thought the rehearsal was pretty impressive too. Very catchy. Song 13, Iceland. They've never won. It's about time they did. They're represented by 40-year-old, I think 40 years old, Svala. The song is called Paper. She is a very good performer, tons of experience. She's a really well-known singer in Iceland. But this is a borderline qualifier. I think the rehearsal boosted its chances. There's lasers, very sort of, I don't want to use the word atmospheric, but sort of like that. It's a very cool song with pretty good lyrics. Not Iceland's best, but still pretty strong. I hope it qualifies. Song 14 is the Czech Republic, who last year made the final for the very first time. This year, Martina Barta with My Turn. This is a pretty weak ballad. I don't like the outfit she was wearing in the rehearsal at all. It's very dated, very bland. I don't see this getting many points from either the public or the jury. Song 15 is Cyprus. They've never won. The song is called Gravity, performed by Hovig. This is... The more I hear it, the more I don't like it. I find it very unoriginal. Very just like a throwaway sort of song. He's got an alright voice. The rehearsal was very disappointing. A total rip-off of Belgium 2 years ago. I mean, the backdrop was exactly the same. Cyprus, though, may well qualify with it. But will it do well? Don't see it happening. Song 16, Armenia. They've never won. The song is called Fly With Me by Artsvik, who is a woman. This is a sort of... It's got a whiff of the East. Takes a while to get going, doesn't really go anywhere. Purple colour scheme, I think. Staging is okay. The song, I like it more than I did, but it's still not one of my favourites by any stretch of the imagination. Likely to qualify, likely to maybe finish in the top 10, but it's not one of the best this year at all. Song 17, another country that's never won. Slovenia. Omar Naber with On My Way. He's represented his country before in Kiev, and now he's back in Kiev. This is a very typical Eurovision ballad. It's straight out of the Eurovision Book of Ballads, if you like. I think this is quite underrated. I think he impressed a lot of people in the rehearsal. Black and white colour scheme. Quite cheesy, but I think this is a really nice song, and he really gives it his all, and he's got a pretty good voice. Might surprise some people. Then again, might come last. So, who knows? Song 18, a country that has won before. Latvia, back in 2002. The song is called Line. It's performed by a band called Triana Park, who have tried many times to represent Latvia. Finally did it this year, won the national final. This is upbeat, very different, a riot of colour, glow-in-the-dark sort of effects, psychedelic colours. It's very flashy, but it works in this case, unlike Montenegro where it looks like a mess. Latvia's rehearsal was really impressive. This should qualify, should get more points by the public than the juries, and it's a grower. I think people watching in Britain might well enjoy the Latvian entry. Plus, the fact that there's Latvian immigrants spread across Europe means that I think this song might do pretty well. So that's it. That is semi-final 1. I won't go through my personal ranking. My favourite song of that semi-final is Belgium. My least favourite is Montenegro. But in terms of who's going to qualify, definites: Sweden, Australia, Belgium, Azerbaijan. I'm very tempted to say Portugal. I think Greece will. I think Poland will. Armenia will. Latvia will. How many is that? About 7 or 8. Finland might qualify now, as might Iceland, which means that Moldova I'm not sure about. Albania, not sure about. Cyprus, that might be a borderline qualifier. Everybody else, I think we can maybe just push them to one side. But those are the 18 songs competing next Tuesday, 8 PM, BBC 4, with Scott Mills and Mel Giedroyc in the first semi-final. Whoa, that was a long video. Please go online, listen to the songs if you wish, let me know what you think of them. I'd be very interested. The favourite to win this year is Italy, and as far as I'm concerned, nobody can stop Italy winning. But stranger things have happened. I'll be talking about the Italian song in another video, alongside the UK's entry, which has had some pretty positive feedback, actually, from foreigners, not from British people. They're just like, no. And I'll be talking about the semi-final 2 countries in another video as well, which contains such delights as an American singing for San Marino, Romanian woman singing for Switzerland, 2 returning artists, a very high-pitched singer for Ireland, an Australian representing Denmark, and a bit of yodeling. Oh, what joy. I'm now going to catch up on some of the rehearsals, of which there's a few that I haven't watched yet. Yes. Okay. If you've watched this video all the way through, thank you very much. Feel free to leave feedback on those songs. And of course you can leave feedback about my writing, my poetry and whatever as well. Thank you for watching.